Hi, my name is Darren Joseph from HTJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor and privilege of speaking with Ravi. Ravi, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I'm Ravindran Narayanasamy. You can call me Ravi from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I'm in charge of the tax department from Raki Siastan Ramanan. I've been in this line more than 15 years, I can say, mostly specialized in tax.
Great. And thanks for sharing a copy of the book. It was from the Chartered Institute of Tax, as well as the Institute of Certified Public Accountants in Malaysia. Thank you very much. The first question and the first topic to discuss is a really broad question. Is Malaysia a territorial tax system or worldwide tax system?
On history, on record, Malaysia was a territory-based tax. They impose based on territory. That means whatever income is derived must be derived in Malaysia or from Malaysia. It will be taxed in Malaysia. If income derived from overseas, it's not taxable in Malaysia. But along the way, a lot of tax cases, changes happening in economics. Then there's open businesses now. It's more broad online business, all these things have been changed these past years. We can see that Malaysia is, how to say, going back. They're broadening the tax scope that they're doing at this point. Technically, last time income remitted back to Malaysia is tax exempted. There was a special exemption provision on that. But since 1st January 2024, that provision was changed. It says tax exempted only if you maintain the money outside Malaysia. But once you bring the money from outside to inside Malaysia physically, that means it must be physically money brought to Malaysia, it will be subject to Malaysia tax. Technically, what they have told that technically, whatever income we are advising our clients, whatever income they are investing in overseas, try to reinvest back in overseas itself rather than bringing back. So once you bring back the money, it will be taxable in Malaysia. The tax rate depends when they bring back. If the income is brought back by the company, means it will follow the corporate tax rate of the tax that you're bringing back. If an individual, means technically individual will be on the scale rate. What are the individual scale rate? But at the moment, for individual, there is an exemption given until they have extended another 10-year plus for the individual. Currently, individual, when they bring the money from overseas, it's not taxable, it's exempted. But saying all this, there's still some condition applies, especially for dividend on individual or company also. On dividend, they have taken a very firm position to say that the dividend must be taxed in overseas, technically. If the dividend is taxed in overseas, and it must be taxed and headline tax rate. If below the headline tax rate, that is 15%, as you know. If below 15% means, then it will be subject to tax in Malaysia. If above 15%, then there won't be any tax in Malaysia. You can get exemption on that. Last time, there are two conditions they imposed when they introduced. The other condition was economic substance. The company who receiving the dividend in Malaysia must have some kind of economic substance. It must have certain workforce. It must not be a shell company or a company alone with no staff, nothing. It must be doing some activity going on in the company that actively. Now, currently starting this year, they have broadened up. They have say either one of the condition they apply, exemption will apply. That's what is told. Apart from dividend, whatever income was, as I told you, the companies when bring back is taxable in Malaysia, but they'll still get a tax credit through DTA, double tax agreement. So that's still available. Coming back, that's why I say it's broaden up this thing, because what happening is in previous years, there was a lot of tax cases happening where because of this exemption is only a very general exemption, says that income remitted from overseas is tax exempted. It's a very general exemption. Everybody have taken opportunity of this clause because the income they brought back from overseas, most of it is not taxed in overseas also. That means they're not paying tax anywhere. So they're not reporting in overseas and they are not reporting in Malaysia. Along the case, there are a lot of cases happen this, then maybe income tax has find out this issue and they have currently imposed more stricter rules saying that it will be taxable in Malaysia, but in the other way, you still can get a tax relief. Technically, you won't be double taxed if you pay the tax in overseas.
Great. Essentially, what we have is like a quasi-territorial tax. So it's not pure territorial, it's not pure worldwide. It's somewhere in that gray space in between.
Yeah. Further to that extension also, now they have introduced capital gain tax. So capital gain tax at the moment in Malaysia is only applied for disposal of shares, unlisted shares, not listed shares, disposal of unlisted shares. And it will be taxed on company, not individual at the moment. Currently, it's only applied on companies only. Then there will be this, further to that, the capital gain also extended to overseas income. Because you see, as I told you just now, whatever income remitted back from overseas is taxable in Malaysia. To be taxable in Malaysia, you must fall under the income tax section to be taxed. Currently, capital gain tax rates are not taxable. Let's say you have a property, you sold a property in overseas, you bring back the money, it's still not taxable. In Malaysia, although there is a provision say income remitted back to Malaysia is taxable because it doesn't fall under the income tax act because capital gain tax doesn't apply. But now things change. Now capital gain tax is there already. It clearly says whatever money you bring back is a capital gain also is taxable in Malaysia. It's one of the things also on the broadening of from the territory base to a worldwide base.
Very, very interesting. Ravi, thank you for your time sharing your expertise from on the other side of the causeway in Malaysia to me here in Singapore. If someone wanted to find you, what's the best way to contact you, Ravi?
They can always call us. I think you can find our contact in most Roland Asia Pacific website. You can call me. We are in the group. Our company name is Rocky CS Tan and Ramanan. My contact is there. If you need any tax advice or any tax assistance in Malaysia, you can always approach us. Myself, we have the audit partners, Mr. Hari Chandran. Then we have our audit senior partner also, Mr. Venkataramanan. They are also in the boat. You can contact any of us if you have any issue.
Thank you for your time. We'll see you next time.